Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see, delightful snacks to nibble, a gay, pleasant evening for all. Oh, a word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater area for your safety's sake. And Mom or Pop, go with the kids when they leave the car. We hope you have a wonderful time. Come back soon.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Hey, fellas, don't fight over that hot dog. There's plenty for everyone. Big, plump, and juicy, wrapped in an oven-fresh bun. Add mustard, relish, ketchup, and go to work. Yes, the hot dogs at our refreshment center are the best you'll find anywhere. Everybody agrees on that.
It's 3 minutes till showtime.
Thirsty? The refreshment stand is open with everything to satisfy your taste buds. Here's the menu: the hottest, freshest, crunchiest popcorn, each kernel popped to its fullest with that real movie time taste. Cold drinks. You'll find your favorite ice cold, tasty, and thirst quenching. And hot dogs, hamburgers, and candy too. Now a short intermission, so you'll have time to make your selection before the show begins.
It's 2 minutes till showtime.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
Top quality hamburgers, the most popular snack in the country. We serve them plain or garnished to your taste.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Just 1 minute to go.
And now, on with the show.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Hello, fellow humans, and welcome to my stream. We are playing day 2 of the Unibet Open Series main event Nano. Today, just underway. We've already raised once with a pair of 4s, got a 3-bet, and decided to fold as we're on our way to the money. We are 9 away from the money now with a cashing stack, so we're pretty happy with that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see if we can't put some money in the bankroll today, ladies and gentlemen. Cats, non-human identifying sentient creatures, and non-sentient creatures as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in flight on MotherShip Poker, ready to pull some cash in today. Also got the Falling Star bounty as usual, kicking off in the background. We tried to reg the Comet Nano, but it did not run today. Not enough people. So we are going to jump into the Dark Matter Nano once again for 25 cents. Need to update my stats a little bit here. Get my day going on the old number sheet. We've got 1 for Falling Star. And we got 0.25 for Nano Dark. Hello and welcome to you all if you're out there watching us. Alrighty, let me get the Dark Matter up on screen for y'all as well. This is the, not that one, that one. There we go. Alrighty, so let's have a quick rundown of what we're playing at the moment. We got the 2,000 euro guaranteed E81, where we are 9 away from the money currently. Looking to get in for at least a min cash there. We are 5 euros deep in this tournament buy-in already, so we need a min cash to break even, pretty much. So we're hoping to go a little deeper than that as well. We also got the Falling Star bounty, which just kicked off. We've lost 1 small pot there, but still doing it reasonably well. And just kicked off the Dark Matter Nano, the one that we've been crushing lately with 5, count them, 5 trophies and a A bunch more final table results on that one as well. So it's been a good run for us in the dark matter nano. That one's up there as well. We'll start getting back into a more regular series of events as well. We get Black Hole Nano going later. Might even reg the regular Black Hole. I don't know. That does seem like a $5 or €5 tournament that I might be willing to play, assuming I treat it as a freeze out, which I often do in the small version anyways. So. Let's go back and have a focus on our action in the... I'm going to put in a raise here with my ace-5. I'm probably folding to action, but I don't want them to know that, obviously. So if you're watching, don't wait 3 minutes and listen to what I'm saying. Thank you. That's what I wanted, was just to be able to take the blinds and antes there, just to keep myself alive. So I'm very much in... stack preservation mode until we hit the money at this point. I would normally open an ace-10 offsuit from the cutoff. We ain't going to be opening that today. We're going to be just pushing those cards into the buck until we see ourselves a bit closer to the cashing stages. Frankly, I know that's a bit nitty of me, but I'm in stack preservation cash mode at the moment. On this one, I do not want to be the guy that bubbles this tournament. I know that's a scared way to play, but that is the way I'm going to play. Pretty sure that's the one and only Estonian Jesus up there, 2 to my left, or 3 to my left on the EOS E81 table. If so, good luck, Mr. Jesus. I'm going to be in pretty tough running against a demigod, so you know, it's going to be a little tough there, but we'll see what we can do. Might be the other good reason not to open my cutoff with ace-10 off when the big blind happens to be the one and only Estonian Jesus. So let's have a quick look. Of course, we would have ended up with 2 pairs here on a somewhat straighty board, but you know, it does kind of feel like one of those spots where you could easily go broke and bubble this tournament, which would be a bad thing for us. I think that would start my day off in a very ugly, gross way, so I would rather not do that. However, it does look like this is a hand we should have been involved in. Although speaking about results is never a great thing. But that said, we'd be pulling chips into our pot, probably into our stack, probably if this was we were in this. So I'm pretty sure 2 pairs is going to be the best hand here. Aces and 10s. There's almost certainly not an ace-king out there, and all the other two pairs we're ahead of. So we're probably best there. Or would have been had we played the hand, but we decided to opt for stack preservation. We're down to 8 remaining until the money now. So we're closing in. I'm guessing it's going to go relatively slowly. I'm going to guess there's a lot of people like me with smaller stacks. They're smaller than me that are thinking in very much the same vein as me. We can just survive until the money here, and it's a pretty chunky min cash. You know, the fact that I've bought in for 5 bullets and I'm still able to cash with a min cash, profit with a min cash, it tells you how chunky the min cash on this one was. You know, so if there's people here that are in on 1 or 2 bullets, this 572 is looking really fucking good to them right now. I think if they're small stacks, so I think they're going to be hanging around waiting. And I'm guessing this sort of shove from the big blind is almost certainly a pretty massive hand with that chip stack. And I think it's probably best that Volvo didn't call that off unless they were sitting with aces or kings. Alrighty, so there's one of the small stacks in right before the big blind. That does not mean that they have a necessarily good hand. They only have like 2.5 blinds, so they are going to be shoving pretty light at this point because they don't really want to be stuck. They're going to be, they wouldn't quite be all in after the blinds go through, but it's going to be pretty close to that if they didn't get their money in here. So I think any sort of reasonable hand. 10-4 suited obviously is not really a hand we can call this off with, even with the odds, which are pretty good. We might have gotten involved if there was more action behind, because that would have improved our pot odds a lot more. But with us being the next person in, it just didn't make a lot of sense with a 10-4 suited, I don't think. But I'm hoping somebody else has something that they can call a 2.5 big blind bet with here and knock this person out so we get a little closer to the money. Well, that kind of sucks. We were definitely hoping to have them be one of the bust outs, but did not happen this time around. I think we're still in a fairly comfortable position here, though. So I don't think we have to change our strategy a huge amount at this point. We're still 8 away. Like I say, I think it's going to go relatively slowly here. Queen Jack's not something I'm going to get involved with at this stage in that position, I don't think. I'm actually not sure at this stage Queen Jack is ever something I'd get involved with right now. I might be, I'm obviously getting involved with big blinds where it checks to me, but or limps to me, but not sure I'm putting any extra money in the pot with that at this point. Oh, interesting spot in the falling star. I don't think Ace Jack is strong enough at this point. These massive shoves are pretty bizarre, so it's hard to say what you got. But Ace Jack is sort of on the bottom end of what I might think of calling something like that with. But I don't think at this stage I need to take that risk with my chips necessarily. Oh, so we got a pair of 8s here in the E81. And I think I'm still in nitty stack preservation mode, which means, pretty sure if I was in cutoff or button, I'd be really thinking about shoving these, even on this button spot or bubble spot. But this early in position, I just think there's too much behind me that can hit me. So it's nitty, but I'm going to get rid of my 8s there. Still looking up at the min cash numbers. Get rid of the 6-5 as well. It's another one of those that you like to see, but it's the wrong position, obviously, and the it's a nice speculative hand for sure, but it's definitely something that you don't necessarily want to be involved with in this spot. Alrighty, so we're down to 7 remaining before the money. People just shoving like crazy in the falling star. I just folded a pair of 5s to shoves. Ended up being a results-wise good fold. Ace Jack got there. It's ace jack against king jack. So the shoves are pretty wide in the falling star for sure, but I still think we need to be fairly cautious in our call-offs. Just put in a raise with ace king over here on the after a couple of limps on the falling star table. Not the best flop in the world for our hand. It's not terrible for our range necessarily. I think our c-bet is going to get through here fairly large amount of the time. Righty, this could be our, unfortunately, moment in the UOS event. We are going to be putting our money in with tens here, I think. We might not call off Volvo if he puts in action. But yeah, we're definitely shoving our tens here into the small stack. Carrots is going to need to have a big hand to call us off with. Even Carrots, I mean, Carrots was super aggro yesterday. So, wow. 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 Holy fuck. Holy fuck, people. Did you see that? Well, no one's fucking watching, so they didn't see it. That is the grossest fucking thing in the world. So yeah, we fucking bubble the EOS event because some asshole calls us with King Queen for no apparent reason for all of his fucking stack. Oh, that is so gross. And we didn't actually even have to get involved there. I mean, he totally does not have to get involved there. So it's an awful, 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 terrible call, frankly. But good to see you, Broadjoy. And yes, you're right. It was really nitty with the 8-8. I should have been even nittier with the 10-10, apparently. Because fucking Carrots is a complete and utter idiot calling off his entire fucking stack with a King Queen on to my shove there. Wow. I mean, I'm still astonished at the call. And I mean, of course we lose because it's just the way things go for us. But I just can't believe he called us off there with that hand. So we fucking bubble the UOS event. That's pretty fucking disappointing, I gotta say. Feels like a kick in the fucking teeth, I gotta tell you. When somebody makes an idiotic play like that and gets rewarded for it, it just feels like a fucking kick in the teeth. It feels like there's really no point in even playing this game. Got a hand developing on the dark matter table as well. need to get my head back in the game. I got a lot of... Is my head back in the game? Probably not, because we're calling this off. Wow. Wow, that was an awful, awful shove by him, frankly. We're just, at least we were on the right end of that one, but Jesus. Alrighty, we are folding way too many hands here, apparently, because we just tripped kings on Dark Matter, tripped kings on Falling Star if we'd have been in the pots, but... yeah, I mean, that was, when he loses, he's got like nothing left behind. He's basically, he basically just called off his tournament life there with a king queen, which is absurd. We took dude's stack in the Dark Matter after we crippled him in the previous hand, so that was nice. Yeah, I think I'm over the bad beat there, and the bad call. I had to vent my anger there for a little bit, because it's damned frustrating when when somebody makes such an awful, horrendous play and gets rewarded for it. It really is dispiriting in this game. It's one of the hardest. It is. I think people think that the hardest part of this game is like figuring out the maths and all that. I mean, that's a hard part of the game, but the hardest part of this game is dealing with that sort of shit effectively and not letting it affect the rest of your game. I'm still not sure if this call with nines here is me being tilted or me making a proper assessment of the situation. I'm still not really sure, to be honest. So yeah, it is a better call than the king queen for sure in the spot where you called me off there. I mean, that was just absurd. Alrighty, so no more day 2 action. I guess I should get that off the damn title because it just annoys me to see it up there now. Do a bit of set mining here with our 6s. I could put in a raise, obviously. That might have been a better move here, but we'll see what the flop brings and go from there. I pretty much decided to set mine with this. And yeah, with an ace on the flop, we're probably done with this hand since we didn't hit a 6. And it seems likely that River Rats in the small blind is calling behind with some sort of a weak ace there, or not. Easily put Abdul on a weak ace as well when he limps in. So I think this one we are going to put in the raise on. Okay, pretty happy with second pair here. And I think he's being a big stack bully. So I think we're just going to call off, see what he does on the turn. The 5's obviously not the best card in the world for us, but I think we're just putting our money in under the assumption that he doesn't have a king or a 5. And he just has the fucking king. Of course he does. So we're done in the falling star because, again, because someone's an idiot who just fucking calls us with the king 7. That's, I don't know. Well, we're still chip leader in the dark star, or dark matter now, no? Oh, we're still fucking chip leader here, at least. It is kind of tilting when the you can only win your smallest buy-in of the day. Oh, what else we got running? What else we got running that we can jump into? So we get 6,000 chips in the 2 Euro Singularity. Currently at, so we got 60 big blinds. Yeah, let's play that one. Alrighty, so I just jumped in a 2 Euro Singularity as well. Get that one up on the screen here for you shortly. Put in a raise here with my king queen. You betcha, Piano Cat. I busted. I got 10s in the small blind. It folded to me. I shoved into a guy with pretty much exactly the same chip stack I had in the big blind. And the idiot called off his tournament life with king queen and got there. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, I guess I can fold 10-10 there, but I don't really think that's ever a winning strategy in the game. There's no way in the world he should be calling off king queen when it's for basically his entire tournament life. Alrighty, well, I guess we're just going to go in with top pair here. Or are we going to go in, or are we just going to call off here? We're just going to call here, I think. I mean, I guess there's a king 9, a king 7 out there, perhaps. Pair of 9s, pair of 7s. Ace king. I mean, I guess there's enough hands to beat me that probably not enough that bluff there. I don't know. Feels pretty weird. Yeah, I mean, I could have. I could have stalled to the money had I not gotten a pair of 10s in the small blind and had idiot not decided to call me off with it, with his king queen. Yeah, I mean, I could have folded my 10s, and I'm sure I would have stalled into a min cash. And maybe that was the ICM. Maybe that was the smartest thing for me to have done. Maybe shoving my 10s was a stupid move there. I certainly think that the big blind calling off, he would have had half a big blind left if he calls off and loses that hand. So I think the big blind calling off with king queen after I shove is way worse than me shoving. Unfortunately, he got rewarded for his absolutely horrendous, terrible decision. So what are you going to do? It's poker, right? But I think in my case, it's a marginal spot where I think some people are going to say you have to shove that spot, and I think other people are going to say you have to fold that spot. And I don't think either of those groups is necessarily wrong. It depends on the approach you're taking to the game. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of dispute about whether or not the guy should call off his stack with king queen offsuit in that spot. In fact, I think that that's going to be a unanimous, yeah, no, that's a pretty fucking stupid call. So I think, I think given that, I'm relatively happy with the way it all played out, although obviously I would have rather it played out with me getting the chips. Alrighty, so let me get the Singularity Tournament up on screen for you. Alrighty, so that's the Singularity. Let's get the titles right for that one. Alrighty, so that's the €2 Singularity game we got running now. The guarantees dropped on that one to €75 now. It used to be €100 on this Singularity, but what are you gonna do? I'm sure we'll jump into the black hole as well when it comes up shortly. Gonna put in a raise here from the button with my king jack. my new vape. I'm not sure if I'm still as much Darth Vapor or not as I was. Probably only notice the difference if you're kind of observant. It's got some slightly different colors. Got a little bit of pink in there for effect now in the in that. But the truth is, it's actually the exact same brand as the other one I had. It's a Vupu Drag. This is the Drag 2, so it's an updated version of the Drag 1, which is that one where I just sort of had a green handle. And it's a slightly different case. I like the more centralized placement of the draw tube. So, and it's been pretty good. It's a new, I got a new tank for it as well with different kind of coil. I like the new kind of coil. I got to check how expensive they are though to see if they're ridiculously more expensive than the other coils. In which case I'll probably just go back to my other tank. But it's a decent little mod. Looks a little better for sure. It doesn't haven't worn off all the paint yet. Hopefully this will last a little bit longer as well. We'll see. I mean, I shouldn't say this one's 2 years old. So I mean, it's been 2 years of daily use. So it's not too bad. And your hands have a lot of oil and stuff on them that destroy paint like that pretty easily. So. Yeah, no, you're right, Piano Cat. I mean, certainly certainly I don't object to the argument that I should fold a pair of tens there in the small blind. I do think that that's a case of congratulations. Glad you made the money at least, Piano Cat. Hopefully, take it down. It's yours to take now. It is yours to take. I'd rather see you take it than somebody else. So go for it. And yeah, I definitely think that there's an argument to be made. I think that argument is on the min cashing matters more to me than winning side of the fence, which I definitely would have been in that camp 2 or 3 months ago. And maybe I should have been in that camp with how much I invested in buy-ins in that tournament just to make my money back. But at the same time, I think the strategy to win is one that I need to start even employing on the bubble. And in theory, I mean that should be me applying significant pressure to the big blind on the bubble, pressure that he shouldn't be withstanding unless he wakes up with a massive hand, which he didn't in that case. So. Yeah, I definitely see both sides, and I can definitely buy the argument that folding. I absolutely could have folded to the money without question. I could have cashed this tournament without. I could have cashed this. I could have cashed this tournament simply by folding. But I'm also pretty sure that by the time we got to the money now, my stack would have been down to 7 or 8 big blinds if I was doing that. In which case, I would have basically been almost guaranteeing myself a min cash, if that makes sense. I mean, certainly you could double up from that and keep running, but when you let yourself blind down that far, it becomes pretty difficult and pretty unlikely that you're going to. The farther down you blind, the more people are going to be calling you off, the more hands you're going to have to fight against when you get all in, and all that stuff. So it just becomes that much harder to survive. So on balance, I'm not terribly upset with the way it went. I mean, I obviously would have wished that he did the right poker thing and folded. But yeah, I'm not terribly upset with my decision either. I guess. Although tens, maybe, I was saying my call-off range at that point was probably queens plus with ace-king suited and maybe an ace-king offsuit in there, depending on who it was that was doing the shoves. But I think tens is probably the bottom of my shove range at that stage of the game. I mean, nines or eights might be might be different. And as I'd said when I folded the eights, if it was a different position, I might have considered it. It might have been a harder decision for me. But yeah, it's, at the end of the day, I'm not terribly upset. I just wish it would have worked out differently. It depends on the style of vape. Got a big hand developing in the dark matter, so we're going to go down to there for a bit. Depends on the style of vape, Broadjoy. Many of them are that style. I find I get a better draw and a better product out of this more a bigger model. Although I might actually get a pen type 1 just to carry around with me for mobile purposes, because this is a little bit bulky to carry around sometimes. Yeah, no, they come in various shapes and sizes depending on what you're looking for. Yeah, it's the new coil in my new tank on this one. It gives a lot better draw and a lot better vapor cloud. It's one of the reasons why I like it. They said that the coil should last longer than my other coils too, so I'll need to take that into account when I analyze the cost as well and figure out whether this or the new coil. But for the most part, I like this, so I'm probably going to be buying these coils. But we'll see. So a pair of 8s, going to put in a raise, 4x raise here with them. With the big blind, or with the big stack limping, I think the raise is the best move. I'm going to do a C-bet here. We probably shut down when he calls because he's going to have a lot of aces and kings behind. So should we, though. So if he doesn't, he's going to fold here a lot. So that's why I put in the C-bet there. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, and I mean, it's always a 20/20 hindsight sort of thing when you bust one of these, and you can always go back and say, well, yeah, I could have folded that hand. There's no reason for me to have played that hand, and maybe the next hand is aces and I double up, and I double up there, but that's a guessing game, right? And you can't really play that with poker. You got to look at the situation that actually happened, and given where I was, I think there's arguments on both sides. And I don't necessarily think the shove is better than the fold or the fold is better than the shove. Like I say, I think depending on the person you ask and their strategy to the game, you're going to get those different answers. Always fold, always shove in that spot. So I don't know. It's one of those things where that's poker, and you got to be able to live with that. Shame Hensey busted the high, but at least he min cashed, so that's not a terrible result for him, I'm sure. I don't think I've ever rage quit from a stream. I certainly haven't on the Mothership yet. I'm pretty sure I never did back when I was doing anything but Hold'em either. I just don't believe in it. It's like poker is, if you're going to rage quit from weird shit that happens to you in poker, you probably shouldn't be playing the game, because it's weird shit's going to happen to you all the time. If you can't put up with the guys making really horrible calls and getting there, then you should probably not be playing the game, because it's going to happen to you more often than not. Right, so we put in a raise with ace jack pre-flop here on the singularity table, and we got a call. we've hit our top pair, and I think we're just going to call off here because I think aces and sevens with a jack is probably going to be the best hand most of the time. Aces full of sevens is always going to be the best hand here. Get him on us. Evening, well done. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have already busted as Bubble Boy, or one of the Bubble Boys, the EOS event. Wow, so it just shoves on us. And I guess we're just going to call off with our ace-king here. And we hold. Nice. Going pretty well for us so far in the singularity. It should put us at the top of the chips, if not near the top, if not the top. Third in chips now. That's nice. Got a big hand developing down in the dark matter as well, where we've turned a set of sixes, and I think we're going to put our raise in here, because I don't think, given the size of this betting, I don't think we're going to get any action on the river if we check. So I think we got to try to get our value in here. If we're going to get value, we got to try to get it here. So we're in pretty gross spots against 5-7 and ace-5, but I don't think we can go anywhere with our trips. So we'll get Ged's opinion on this as well. So get him on ass. It's we're like 6 away from the money in the E81 event. It folds around to me in the small blind with a pair of tens. The big blind to my left is somebody that I know is a relatively active player. Do you shove there or do you fold there? Do you fold, hoping to fold to the money and min cash the thing, or do you shove there assuming that he plays poker properly and can only call off with a massive hand, and that you're almost always getting the blinds and antes when you do that? You can guess what my response was. I shoved. He called off with not a massive hand. He called me off with king queen and got there. And when I say he's calling me off, the big blind I'm shoving into is pretty much exactly the same stack as me. If he loses the hand, he's left with half a big blind. So he's basically calling for his tournament life there as well. I'm shoving for my life. He's calling for his life with king queen. But what's your thoughts there? If you're sitting in the small blind and it folds to you with 10-10 and you're 6 away from the money in a big event like that, do you play it safe on the bubble? We both got like 12 big blinds at this point for the record. I'm not sure if I said that or not. So I'm just wondering if I fold and try to fold my way into the money, or if I should take the opportunity and shove. I mean, I took the opportunity and shoved, and it didn't work out for me, but I think it does most of the time. So I don't know. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. There's no reason to quit the game. You need to learn to manage. But my point was, if your rage is to the point where you have to rage quit the game, yeah, I mean, maybe quit poker is too harsh, but definitely find some way to manage your rage, because it's not going to suit you well in the poker context. You know. Yes, thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. It has been a relatively good day in the other events anyways. Oh, we got Hensey to our right in 2 Euro Singularity, Dubai Princess. I don't have any new ads queued up for you guys today, I don't think. At least I don't have anything new queued up for you, so we're just going to run some of the old stuff that I've run before, and, you guys can enjoy. Of course, we'll wait until this hand finishes. But yeah, this vape definitely does do a bigger cloud. I'm going to c-bet that flop. We'll probably check back this time. I don't know if we're calling off river action or not yet. Depends on the river, but obviously we just got counterfeited. So it would have been probably better to have bet the turn, but oh well, guess we're out of the way. Alrighty, so we're off to a break. We'll be back in a few short minutes.
And now we'd like to show you how the Ford Motor Company has opened the gateway to a whole new world, a new vista of motoring pleasure with the 58 Edsel. Won't you come in? Heavy.
This is the Edsel, unlike any other car you've ever seen. This is the Edsel. This is the Edsel. This is the Edsel. This is the Edsel. You can see how it looks. You have to feel the power of the newest V8 engines in the world. The big new Edsel 400 and the larger Edsel 475. It is unlikely you have ever driven a car with so much usable power as the Edsel. And with Edsel's exclusive TeleTouch drive, you drive more safely, more easily than you ever have before, because both hands can stay at the wheel while the Edsel shifts electrically. This is the Edsel, as its graceful flight deck and classic vertical grille suggest. It is elegant in every detail, and it acts the way it looks, but it doesn't cost that much. See, drive, and be sure to price the new member of the Ford family of fine cars, the Edsel, at your Edsel dealer.
You just turn a key on the dashboard and the trunk opens electrically. And here's how easy it is to drive. Can you flick that light switch?
Why, certainly, anyone can.
You can drive the Ed.
That's right. Driving the 1958 Edsel is as easy as flicking a light switch. For Edsel's exclusive new TeleTouch drive, shifts electrically at a touch. It's a new idea that puts shifting where it belongs, so you can keep both hands safely at the wheel. And look, you can shift and turn the wheel at the same time, where the control remains stationary, which makes Edsel the world's easiest car to handle. On the Edsel's instrument panel, you'll find many more new ideas, like this speedometer that glows red when you exceed the safe maximum speed you set it for. This one simple dial that sets heat, ventilation, and air conditioning at a twist of the wrist. Even a remote trunk release that electrically opens the luggage compartment. And under that long, straight Edsel hood, you'll find the newest V8 engines in the world. the big new Edsel 400 and the larger Edsel 475. Each one power matched to the weight of the car to put more usable power at your command than you have ever known before. Remember, driving an Edsel is an experience no man should miss. Discover for yourself the thrill of driving an Edsel, 1958's one really new car. Visit your Edsel dealer soon, and when you do, you'll meet a fine businessman with a broad automobile experience. He became an Edsel dealer because he had driven the Edsel. He had compared it, and he...
Alrighty, that's enough of the Edsel commercials. We'll get back to more of that stuff later on in the show. We have just entered the Blackwell Nano and the Abyss Nano as well. You can see we got the 4 tables full up on our screen now, ready to rock and roll. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the shove, at the end of the day, the shove is the move that makes me most likely to win the tournament, which I think is what I need to be going for at that point, frankly. So that's about all I can say. And yes, laptop in the kitchen is a great way to solve that problem, Piano Cat. Put in a raise here with my pair of aces on the Abyss Nano table. Raise with the ace king. I think I'm going to call off with my pair of sevens here. No, in fact, I don't think I am. I think sevens is going to be bad. I think these guys are going to have an ace or a 10 or a queen a lot of the time. Yeah, king queen is the unibet nuts today, apparently. I'll bear that in mind. Wow. Holy Jesus. So we just got, I mean, I guess. I mean, do I ever call off 4 ways here? Guess I do. I have the chips for it. Yeah, not a terrible result for us at the end of the day. Pretty astonished with the hands that got their money in there. But you know, it is the dark matter nano we're talking about here, so I shouldn't actually be astonished. I retract that comment. It's the dark matter nano, so there's no reason to be astonished by the hands that were in there. So the Abyss Nano, we picked up a pair of queens in the big blind, and I think we're gonna 3-bet the cutoff raise, and we flop top set. So we're pretty happy with that. I think we're gonna put in a somewhat small c-bet. Ooh, he just snaps us off. Gotta like that. So let's play scared and do the check raise option. And he chooses not to bet, so we're going to have to put in our bet ourselves. Let's try to get extra value and also make it look somewhat bluffy. Hello, Addy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I am sorry you missed my epic bust out in the E81 on the bubble, but may as well get your opinion on it as well. So I have about 12 big blinds. The other player in the hand also has about 12 big blinds, slightly more than me. If he loses the hand, he has about half a big blind left over. it folds around to me in the small blind. I've got a pair of tens, so I shove my 12 big blinds under the assumption that the big blind can only call off with massive hands at that point, like six from the money in E81. But I'm wondering if that's the right shove or if I should just be trying to fold to the money at that point. I think it's one of those spots where the more passive player will say, well, the min cash matters and just get to the min cash and then worry about building your chips. Whereas the aggressive player will say you've got to be putting in the money to try to win the tournament down the road. And if you're just folding to min cash, you're not playing the poker game right. And I get both of those arguments. And in a tournament where I can't always guarantee that the guy in the big blind is going to do quote unquote the right thing, should I be shoving that or should I be folding that? I shove 10-10. Dude in the big blind makes a horrendous call for his entire stack with king queen offsuit and gets there against me. Is the way the results went. But I'm curious if you're sitting there with 10-10 in the small blind and it folds to you when you've got 12 big blinds and you're 6 from the money. I mean, it's a shove, right? That's a shove. If I'm trying to win the tournament, that's a shove, right? I think the ace king is a fold. Yeah, it was right on the verge. It was right on the verge, Addy, for sure. I really did think of folding that there, and I really, if it had been an extra 500 or 1,000 chips, I'd probably folding. But the fact that it was less than half my stack to call was what made me make the decision. Maybe that was a bad way to think about it, but that was why I made the decision to call. It was less than half my stack. So a pair of sevens on the abyss. I'm going to call behind, turn this into a bit of a set mining opportunity, see what the flop brings. Oh, we got a pair of sevens on the singularity table as well in the big blind. Giggles, good to see ya. Very nice to see ya, Giggle Piglet. I think the level of my chat might be about to explode, and I love it. Yes, big meow meow to the Giggle Piglet. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Mothership. Good to have you on board. We got folded to in the singularity with our sevens, so that didn't work. But down here in the abyss, we've got an overpair to the board, so I think we're pretty happy against everything but hands like ace 4 and 4-6. So I think we're just going to call behind and see what we get. I think we're calling behind one more time. Ah, crap. I was supposed to look at my my spin free roll tickets. It expired today, and I didn't get a chance to play it. Ugh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. It'll be expired by tomorrow. Your comment about the jackpot free roll just reminded me of that, so I just blew off potentially some free money. Oh well. It's been that kind of day. I blew off some potentially free money when I shoved my tens into the guy that I wasn't certain wasn't going to call off with stupid hands. Enjoy the sauna. That is one part of Finnish culture that Canadians really need to adopt is the sauna idea. I think it's a lovely, lovely idea. Yeah, totally. I mean, I get both arguments, and that's why I'm very cautious to say that I think it goes both ways. And I think that if you pulled 10 poker players, and you ensured that there was a variety between Dara types and more aggro types, I think what you'd get is a 50-50 split of people telling you to fold and telling you to shove in that spot, fold to the money or shove to win. So I think it's a pretty narrow call either way. But yeah, I didn't really think that shoving was the worst option for sure. And I figured that King Queen offsuit was a pretty light call off for him given his stack size as well. Evening, Ant-Man. Good to see you as well. Good to see you. Sorry you missed my my glorious E81 bust out, but you know, it happens. And I still think I made the right move, and I'm more and more convinced that it was the right play, given that I was looking to actually go deep in it rather than just min cash. Yeah, Addy, you're right. And in hindsight, I agree with you on that. I should have. I mean, the whole point was to check raise. But yeah, when he snap calls like that, I maybe shouldn't think that he wants to bet into me. So I should probably still keep the betting and keep him calling. So I totally get that, and I need to think about that more, for sure. Well, take it down. It's probably worth the money to delay your son a little bit. Giggles. Yeah, I do think one of my unfortunate tendencies is I like to get other people to bet into me when I have big hands, and I recognize that's actually probably a leak to a certain degree, and I need to be more willing to put the money in. I just feel so often when I put the money in and people fold that I'm losing value by betting there when maybe if I check they can put money in for me. Um, so that's sort of my thinking there, but I do get how it's potentially quite a leak. Well, yeah, you can ask Ant-Man. I've told the story a few times now, and it's worth getting your opinion on the play as well because I mean I think it's the right play, but you know it's hard to say. So it's about 6 from the money, and I'm in the small blind. The guy in the big blind has pretty much the same stack as me. We both have about 12 big blinds. He's slightly bigger than me in that if he calls off a shove for me and loses, he has about half a big blind left. So it's basically he's calling for a stack if he calls a shove for me. Um, although it's not. Although technically I was the one that was covered by like half a big blind. So it folds around to me in the small blind. I have 10-10. And dude in the big blind decides to just call off for his tournament life with King Queen offsuit, and he got there. So, I mean, I do think that there's an argument for folding in that spot to fold your way into the money and guarantee yourself a min cash and then worry about winning the tournament. But I also think there's a very strong argument for you've got to shove a hand that strong in that spot from the small blind to the big blind. If you want to be playing to win. So, I mean, I don't think it's terrible either way, and I don't think a fold would have been terrible by me, but I don't think the shove is terrible either. And I frankly, and not really to harp on this, and I don't really want this to be like, that I'm harping on the bad beat, but there's no way in the world dude in the big blind with the same stack as me should be calling off his stack with King Queen offsuit in that spot. 6 for the money, I don't think. I just think that that's an absurd call by him. So I'm pretty happy with the idea that I made a call that is or I made a play that was easily defensible. He made a call that pretty much every poker player in the world is going to look at and go, yeah, that was an idiot move, dude. So I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the way it went. Yeah, thanks, Addy. I mean, or Ant-Man. Yeah, I think it's. I think it was standard as well, and it sucks that he gets there. It sucks that he's unaware enough to call off with King Queen there, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the truth is, a min cash for me in that tournament wasn't. And it's a weird dichotomy for me. I would think it would be sort of the reverse if I was in for one bullet, well, 2 bullets with the add-on. The min cash should mean more to me at that point, but I've invested less in the tournament, so it's not that big of a deal for me just to go home with 0 instead of €2 that I invested. And yes, the payout is big, but when I invest 5 bullets in the thing, it actually matters to me whether I go deeper than just a min cash or not. The min cash is important, obviously, to pay back my buy-in, but I'm only making 72 cents on the min cash at that point when I've got 5 bullets in. So I'm really playing to win or to go deeper than a min cash anyway, so I can add a little bit more profit to it. So while I'm perfectly happy with a min cash, if I'm in for 1 or 2 euros in bullets, and I probably am much more inclined to fold my way to the money in that spot. When I've already invested €5 into it, I want to go more than I want to get more than a min cash, and I'd rather bust. I think I'd rather bust and just lose the €5 than just min cash and just get the payback. I mean, that's obviously not true because I'd obviously rather have gotten paid back. But you get what I'm saying. It's I've already invested so much in the tournament that I want a bigger return than just a 72-cent return, right? I'm not sure I was jamming any pair. I'm pretty sure I wasn't jamming deuces and trays and things. But yeah, it's definitely one of those spots where I think I'm in pretty much all the time. Oh, you guys are calling? Okay, alrighty. So I'm being overly harsh on the guy. I don't know. To my mind, I think calling off. I think I'd be more inclined if you guys were saying that I was jamming with the King Queen. Calling off with the King Queen just doesn't seem like a profitable move very often. There, but Yeah, giggles. That's I should think about that as well, and especially in the nano events, I find that's I need to think about that more because I know people don't necessarily know what they should be doing, quote unquote, and B they're just more gambly anyways because they don't care about the money nearly as much. So no, I get you. I guess I am being overly harsh on the dude calling off. It does seem I don't know. It seems to me like it wasn't the yeah. We'll drop it at that point, but I mean, I can see the thought pattern where you're going to be racing against a lot of the pairs that I might shove with. Um, but I guess that's part of my point. Calling off to race for my tournament life, I'm not sure is the best move in the world, is it? This is an interesting hand with two pairs here on the Abyss table. Oh, and just the grossest river in the world. We should have bet that. We should have bet that turn, but we didn't really have the betting lead, so it would have been a donk bet if we bet that turn. This isn't terrible, but I think he's got an ace here. Fucking all the time, I guess, right? I guess two pairs never wins here. Yeah, I guess two pairs never wins there. Got a hand developing in the black hole nano as well. I think I'm calling him off here. And I think we're just donk shoving the river. Oh, so gross. He just fucking ace deuce he gets there. Yeah, we'll fire one more bullet in the black hole. We just took a sack, another stack in the singularity with big blind special to a certain degree. So up to 19,000, almost 20,000 chips here in the singularity. Fourth of 29 with 11 places getting paid. Yeah, no, I was definitely looking to go deeper than a min cash in that one because I was €5 deep already in buy-ins. I was definitely looking to go bigger than a min cash. So, and yeah, it's a bit of an overstatement to say that I'd rather bust than just get a min cash at that stage, but I certainly don't mind busting at that stage as much as I would have minded busting at that stage if I was only in for two bullets. There you go, Ant-Man. Against the 10 Jilly, shouldn't you always be folding that hand? Come on, against 10 Jilly? Really? Really? You're calling off 10 Jilly with a King Queen? Come on, guys. This 10 Jilly we're talking about here. Well, I guess we're getting in for a big stack here on the Singularity table with a 4-bet, cold 4-bet shove. And he just fucking hits the sats. Jesus. I mean, you get your money in the spot. You know, should I just fold kings there? When idiot comes over top, when fuck. I mean, idiot just shoves the. You know, idiot just fucking shoves the 10s there and got him crushed, and he just fucking gets there. I don't mind losing races, and I don't mind losing hands when I'm, 60-30, but it just fucking sucks there when they're 20% against you and you can't fucking hold. Just shoved my stack in the dark matter. Huh. The 4s just get there, but we get there. Oh, it doesn't matter. The 4s are the big stack, so we're done. Done in the dark matter. I mean, what the fuck? We get crippled in the fucking Singularity because, our 80-20 hand can't fucking hold, and get in with ace-king there, and the fucking 4s just crushes us. Oh, I gotta shake off the negative vibes. That's just fucking gross. And I mean, now we're down to like 10 big blinds in the Singularity when we're fucking crushing it. Just because our kings can't hold. Against an idiot. Ah. Always glad to have you whenever you can make it, Giggles. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the right play with the king-king. I mean, it's, I'm just being sarcastic when I say I should just fucking fold the king-king there, because obviously you shouldn't just fold a fucking king-king there, and obviously I'm crushing everybody else at the table when I shove my king-king there. So, I should end up that hand with like 35,000 chips and be the fucking chip leader in this tournament. That's what's frustrating me about this. If this was about my play, we'd be fucking crushing this tournament and many of the tournaments we play at this level. But of course, poker's not about your play. Poker's about who gets the luckiest, and obviously it's Amian that gets the luckiest here because his fucking tens just get there. It's the spot that makes it different, of course, Broadjoy, but and it's not so much these shoves with 10-10. I want him to shove with 10-10 there so I can come over top of him with my king-king and we can get all the money in and I can take it down. It's that he gets there with 10-10 that's, of course, the annoying part. And now we're going to get in with fours. He's going to call me off with some absurd hand, and he's going to get there, is the way this tournament goes, because it's a €2 singularity, and we put in a bunch of money, and they can't let us win a €2 singularity. Oh, wow. Wow, he folded to me. My God. What the hell? What the hell's wrong? He must have been away from his computer and it timed out. I can't imagine he actually folded to me. Alrighty, so King Jack. We're probably going to be involved with this hand, I think. Question is, do I come over the top and reshove? Or do I just call and see what the flop brings? Pretty happy with that flop, so I think we're going to check shove. We hold for a nice double, so we're back in the game in the singularity. Got a big hand developing on the black hole as well. We take it down with the best king. It's our second bullet in the black hole for the record. I should update my... it's 2x bullets in the black hole. There we go. So I'm at least giving the correct info out. Put in the raise with my king queen under the gun here. Suited. That's a pretty darn good flop for king queen, I think, and it is a candidate for a flop of the night, I think. Yeah, she's not going to bet into me, so we'll bet the turn. I'm going to try and overbet. We get the call from the flush on that board. Crazy. Crazy calls. Yes, I do that on Fridays usually, Giggle Piglet. I don't normally do it because Twitch mutes the recording of the stream. You can listen to it while it's live, but you can't go back and listen to the recording because it's muted when you have copyright music on your stream. So So yeah, I only do it once a week, and I'm pretty happy for I'm okay with the Friday streams being muted, but I don't want all my streams to be muted, so I only do it once a week. Kind of a party atmosphere on Fridays, then, and we can have some fun. We can play around and have some fun. Ooh, happy birthday, Giggle Piglet. Come by and listen to some music. I usually play a bunch of Canadian tunes, but people throw their own playlist requests in as well. So you're welcome to come and do that, and we can throw a bit of a birthday celebration for you if you're around. If you've got other things to do, I certainly understand that as well. Oh, and Piano Cat as well. Well, geez, we could have a real stream party going here then for all the friends of the stream having their birthday. My mother was a May 5th girl. So her birthday was yesterday, although she's passed away 10 or 10 years ago? 2009? Yeah, 2009 she passed away, so 10 years ago. I have a feeling I should have bet that turn, but I think I'm hero calling here with my sixes. Wow, I did not expect him to be there on a straight draw. By any stretch of the imagination, not on a gut shot like that. Weird. Ace Queen just gets there against the Ace King. That guy is just getting there. No matter how badly he gets his money in, he just gets there. So yeah, I mean, I agree. You're right. Ant-Man, if the 10-10 never wins there, he has a right to complain. But if he's always getting there with hands like 10-10 against King-King and Ace-Queen against Ace-King, I think everybody else has a right to complain too. Just saying. Oh, you guys weren't seeing. Actually, I didn't have that hand up on screen when it was going through, but yeah, it was on the singularity table. The same guy that got me. His tens got my kings. Just got all money in against knocked somebody else out with ace queen against ace king, and his king 10 just got there against a pair of tens as well for the entire stack. Crazy. He is just basically everything getting there. You got moved to my left now. Shit. We're on a slightly different table now. Let's go back over there. Yeah, so he just got there on an absurd hand. We're down to 17 to go, so we are 5 away from the money. I'm going to put in a C-bet here, or I'm going to put in a bet here since it got checked to me. And you're going to assume I have the ace there a lot, I think. Mikey, good to see you, buddy. Welcome to the stream again. Good to have you back. Welcome back from your vacation. That must have been fun. Sounds like you had a better run at E81 than I did. We've gone through it several times on stream, but I busted. It's about 6 before the money. In a play where I think I should have got my money in, and everybody else sort of agrees we should have got our money in. There's something of a disagreement over whether the guy in the big blind should have called or not, but I'm more agreeing with Ant-Man and Addy now that it's probably an okay call by him as well, but he got there with King Queen against my tens, and I was out. The thing that makes it a questionable call in my mind is that he's basically calling off for his entire life there. We had essentially the same stack. He had me outstacked by about half a big blind. But it's the way it goes. We had a massive chip stack here in the Singularity as well, and then we got crushed by Amiens, the guy to our left there. We got crushed by his 10-10 when we got it in against him with King-King. And he has subsequently been getting there with the worst hand on 2 other occasions against other people. So... Fold that. Nice one, Mikey. Good job. Run it up. I'd much rather see one of the our friends of the stream take it down now that I'm out of it. I'm assuming he doesn't have the 5, but he probably does. I should have shoved rather than putting half pot in, but I think half pot looks a little stronger at this spot. Looks like I have the 5 when I put in half pot there instead of shoving. But the truth is, it was a misclick. It wasn't a planned. It wasn't a planned thing. Yeah, I think we're still rooting for Piano Cat and for Mike, at least. So we're 5 away from the money now in the Singularity. We're 6 of 16 with 11 getting paid. Looks like we might cash this one. Two-year Singularity has been pretty brutal for us. It's a relatively low sample size, but I think we're something like 0 for 10 on 2 Euro Singularities. So it'd be pretty nice to actually break that streak. Let me actually have a quick look. Congrats anyways, Piano Cat. So let's have a look. 2 Euro Singularities. I'm actually 0 for 13 in 2 Euro Singularities, which is a pretty depressing statistic, I have to say. I'm going to put in a raise here again, I think. Really don't like this fellow sitting to my left, but there's not much I can do about it. We have top pair, however, so I think we're pretty happy to continue with this. Let's go a little chunkier than half pot. Either get extra value or get them out of the way. Got a big hand coming up here in the black hole nano. We are now 4 of 16 in the Singularity. Still 5 to go until we're cashing that tournament. Putting in the C-bet, obviously, with my top pair here. A pair of queens in the the Abyss Nano. I think we're going to put in a fairly chunky raise with. And we're calling off any action, I think. We're calling off any action that donks in front of us, and we're going to put our chips in the middle if it checks around to us. That is rather frustrating, Giggle Piglet. So yeah, I think we're just going to put our chips in the middle here. It's basically a pot bet, a little bit more, but basically a pot bet. We get a call. Pretty loose call by 610, looking for the gut shot straight, but hey, it's a rebuy. He can fire again if he wants. He fires again. We've got a nice stack in the Abyss. Or the start of a nice stack in the Abyss anyways. 8 of 33 now. Lost one player in the Singularity, so it's 4 to go until the money now. I'm sitting 4 of 15 at the moment. 11 getting paid over there. Let's head back over and have a look. Going to jump in the Dwarf Star Bounty as well now, since we've lost our fourth table with the Darks matter. Star Bounty Nano. Alrighty, so we've also got the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano up and running as well. So our 4 tables currently are looking like this. Got the Singularity up in the top left, €2 buy-in, €75 guarantee. We've got the Black Hole Nano top right, 50-cent buy-in, €100 guarantee. We've got the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano bottom left, 25-cent buy-in, a €20 guarantee. The Abyss Nano bottom right, 60-cent buy-in with a €20 guarantee. A little surprised to see him there with that hand. Get out of the way with our unsuited Jack 10. We've Got one hand still in action down here on the Dwarf Star Bounty Nano, so we'll see how that plays out. And then we'll head off to another break. Yeah, my 8s are probably in bad shape here. We'll get out of the way. Alrighty, we'll head off to a break. We'll be back in a few short minutes.
Well, your man's big day is
Now we'd
almost
like
here.
to show you how the
Now, how
Ford
about
Motor
it? Have you got
Company
that graduation
has
gift
opened the
all
gateway
picked out
to a
for him?
whole
Well, there's
new world, a
one
new
special
vista
gift he'll really
of motoring.
appreciate. A handsome new Bulova to get him off to a good start. Now, for example, here's the famed Bulova Senator. This is the watch only Bulova could create. A masterpiece of precision and styling, shock-resistant, with a lifetime unbreakable mainspring, and handsome matching expansion band. And the price? An unbelievable $35.75. Only Bulova could bring you such style, such distinction, such fine precision accuracy for so little. So hurry to your Bulova jewelers. Give your young man the graduation gift he'll wear with pride and pleasure. The gift of a lifetime. The handsome Bulova Senator. Remember, there's a world of difference in watches. Insist on the best. Bulova.
Friends, here is a report that every smoker in America ought to know about.
In a recent decision, the Federal Trade Commission says of Brand X cigarettes that the use of diethylene glycol as a hygroscopic agent in the manufacture of X brand of cigarettes does not render such cigarettes non-irritating or less irritating than other leading brands of cigarettes using hygroscopic agents other than diethylene glycol.
Now, if the federal trade decision has made you wonder about the contents of your cigarette, you can be glad if you're smoking Chesterfield.
Chesterfield gives you scientific facts and names its ingredients. Chesterfield uses tobaccos pre-tested by laboratory instruments for the most desirable smoking qualities and kept tasty and fresh by the only tried and tested hygroscopic or moistening agents proven by over 40 years of continuous use in USA tobacco products as entirely safe for use in the mouth. Pure natural sugars and chemically pure, harmless, far more costly glycerol, nothing else. Chesterfield has the newest and most modern research laboratories and factories staffed by experts. Outside independent consultants include many eminent scientists from leading universities.
Believe me, friends, Chesterfield has for your smoking pleasure and protection every advantage known to modern science. For you, that means Chesterfields are much milder, with an extraordinarily good taste and no unpleasant aftertaste.
I'd like to give you a new twist on how I serve breakfast in my family with Kellogg's shredded wheat. Let's face it, with different schedules for the children and my husband, if I get two of them to sit down together, I'm lucky. So, I've invented what I call the Kellogg casserole. It's always ready, and they love it. Instead of the same old cereal bowls, I use small ovenware dishes like these. 2 biscuits fit very neatly, as you can see. I pop them in the oven, toast them to bring out the delicious wheat flavor, and then this is my favorite recipe. Put a pat of butter on the biscuits, sprinkle with cinnamon sugar, and pour on warm milk. But first, and this is a must, insist on Kellogg's when buying shredded wheat. I know you'll find that Kellogg's is the best tasting shredded wheat there is. And don't forget, only Kellogg's gives you 3 extra servings in each box. Of course, Kellogg's shredded wheat is delicious and ready to serve right from the box. For variety, try this Kellogg casserole, won't you?
Aunt Jemima pancakes without her syrup is like the spring without the fall. There's only one thing worse in this universe That's no Aunt Jemima's at all.
Aunt Jemima's without Aunt Jemima's syrup?
That's ridiculous.
And we're back. Got the singularity going in the top left where we are 5 of 15 with 11 getting paid. Got the black hole nano in the top right. We got the dwarf star bounty nano in the bottom left. And we've got the abyss nano in the bottom right. We'll watch the singularity here as we inch down towards the money. Be nice to crack my 0 for 13 record in the singularity here. For the record, it gives you an idea of the way tournament poker goes. I'm 0 for 13 in €2 singularities, which means I've dropped 26 euros in theory. I've actually only dropped 22 of my own euros because 3 of those buy-ins were tickets, or 2 of those buy-ins were tickets. So I've got 11 of my own buy-ins plus 2 buy-ins with tickets. But if I win this one today for 31.52 euros, I have a positive. I'm 1 for 14, but I have a positive profit value for the tournament. So that's the way tournament poker goes. It's why you need to win tournaments instead of just min cashing tournaments, because the win will make up for a whole bunch of crap, frankly. You know, we're talking about 15 buy-ins for the win on this, almost 16 buy-ins for the win on this. So definitely worth going for. And also why even being 0 for 13 isn't necessarily a terrible record. It's more often than usual in a row that you would bust, but you're going to bust a lot of these tournaments. You're going to bust more of these tournaments than you're going to cash, that's for sure. Putting in a raise here with our ace king. Yeah, I thought that shredded wheat recipe was a bit weird as well, I gotta admit. I'm not a big fan of warm milk. One of my favorite lines from Stargate SG-1 actually is Tilk. When he can't sleep one night and somebody suggests he should try warm milk, and his response is, I would prefer not to consume bovine lactate at any temperature, which I think is a great response for that. Wow, did we just call off with the ace king here? Against a button shove from Exoplanet. Probably not, I guess. Not this close to the bubble. I mean, I know that's nitty, but we're looking to cash this event, I think. So we still got an easy cashing stack. I probably should. That was very nitty. I admit that was very nitty, but. The sixes get a double up. So we're 3 away from the money now on the singularity table. Nitty fold with the 3s there, I know. Ugh, I hate that. Yeah, I see hands like this too where I'm super nitty. I feel like I've missed the chance to actually do it. And if I end up bubbling this tournament, I'll look back on hands like this and be like, yeah, you absolutely didn't play that properly. But I mean, I do think that getting involved with a pair of 3s at this point, so in such early position, even on a relatively short-handed table, not the best move, but so I put in the raise after a limp. We got 3-bet by Spingman here. Just going to call off and see a flop. I'm pretty happy with my hand at this point, so I think we're definitely playing back to action. We'll figure out what we're going to do when it gets to us, but I think we're probably putting in a check raise here. And we take a nice big pot in the black hole. Things are looking kind of gross for us in the singularity. The two short stacks have doubled up now. We are still 10 of 14, but it's getting a little bit more precarious for us. Yeah, that's the way to do it, Giggles. Yeah, it probably should have been a side call for me as well. I think I'm playing this one a little bit as scared money because I've busted these €2 singularities so many times. I really want to break that cherry, frankly. But it's probably the wrong way to think about it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Likewise with the threes, that I had, it was another situation where I probably was thinking scared money. I want to min cash. Um, although I might be thinking results oriented wise there. Threes from that early of a position is pretty precarious play, I think, with the stack size I have. One of the things I'm thinking there with Ace King is that certainly there are some Ace X hands that I'm in really good shape against when I call off there. But there's also a lot of pair hands that I'm racing against at best. And I understand that there are times when you need to race for your tournament life. I'm not sure that was one of them for me. Fuck, I've got to give the small stack the blinds. I can't call him off here with 8-5. That's gross. This hand, however, we are going to be playing aggressively. Ooh, that's a pretty loose call. Pretty loose shove there by Springman, but hey, we're the beneficiaries, so we're not going to complain too much. Give us a massive stack in the black hole nano. We'll put in a raise with our King 9. And we'll probably call it off against Springman shove as well. Certainly getting the odds now, I think. Well, maybe not with the raise. Yeah, okay. I'll let you guys fight it out. Nine deuce. I'm assuming he's rebuying. I'm assuming that's why he did that. We are all in from the button on. Ugh. And I just bubbled Singularity. I just fucking bubbled Singularity. We are now 0 for 14 in the €2 Singularity games, mostly because Our kings against tens hands can't hold. Yeah, it'd be nice to have some more ladies events on Unibet, I think. I don't know how well attended they were, though, is the problem. That could be an issue for them. They need to have a certain level of attendance before it makes sense for them to do a free roll of any reasonable size. Oh wow, and the dude that just went in with 9 deuce didn't rebuy either. I assumed that was why he went in with such a horrible hand. Just added the Titan Nano. Haven't played that one in a while. We have 2 wins in the Titan Nano so far. I'll just do my necessary admin to get that up on screen for you. Got a pair of kings in the Blackwell Nano as well. And I think we're going to be putting in a fairly chunky raise with those kings. I don't know why my video camera's having a cow, but there we go. If I adjusted, and it seems a little better now. Just me against the other big stack. Hopefully he's hit a queen. Oh, I guess Karaku's in here as well. Didn't notice that. It's a gross ace. It's a very gross ace for us. I think we have to keep betting anyways. Alrighty, so there's the Titan Nano up as well. Currently, that's our layout. Titan, Black Hole, Dwarf Star, Bounty, and Abyss Nanos. All nano events. Yeah, there's lots of stuff closed early. I was noticing that with the dark matter nano a while back as well. It was closed like way earlier than it should have been. But yeah, it would certainly be nice if they got more women's events going there. I have no objection to that. I do think it's a little weird in a mental game like poker to have women's events because it really should be a level playing field. But of course, we know it isn't. Not because of anything with women, but because of the way men tend to treat them at the tables and in tournaments. So they do need their own space to, I think, to be able to play, especially to encourage newcomers to the tables, because it can be very intimidating, I think, to have to play against idiot men all the time who are being abusive, which happens a lot in live poker. I see it quite frequently. Go, 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 Giggle Piglet. Although I know you are trying to get to your sauna, but alrighty. So what you're telling me, Giggle Piglet, is I'm just trying too hard and put too much effort into my play. That's why I'm losing, right? I gotcha. That makes sense. I knew there was something wrong with my strategy. So we've got a very high variance player putting in a very high variance raise in the Titan Nano, and we're going to put a very high variance 3-bet in from the small blind. And we're going to hold. Without the call behind there, I'm probably in this pot too, but I'm going to get out of the way with the call behind. We are 5 away from the money in the Abyss. We are 1 out of money spot right now, 9 of 13 with 8 getting paid. Got a hand developing here in the dwarf star. Wow. Alrighty, I guess we're behind from the start there. So we're done the dwarf star. See, I laugh when I lose it that way. You know, when my top pair is just crushed by queens, and you know, I mean that's fine when that happens. It's not fine, but you know what I mean. We're all in the abyss with our ace queen here in 20 big blinds. Put in a raise on the black hole with my ace queen from the small blind. Ace queen suited. After a button limp. I think we're going to continue on that flop. Yeah. Exactly. If you try that, you surely bust. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's obviously working for you. Yeah, I really have to do something about my lighting situation or my camera or something because it seems to freak out pretty regularly. I mean, it's like a 10-year-old camera. I think it's in fact, I think my camera is so old, I'm pretty sure it's original USB 1, which tells you how old the camera is. Pretty sure it's been at least a decade since anybody's made a webcam that runs on USB 1. It's a Logitech camera that's reasonably inexpensive, like 80 bucks, that I might actually go look at that a lot of people I know use. So seems to work for Ian. I've had more mixed results with that strategy myself, but picked up ace king in the tight nano. I think I'm going to underplay my hand a bit here. Going to check back, and we're going to flip over to the black hole table, where I've managed to pick up aces. We're folding our ace-king hand in the Titan, just because that flop is not great for our range or our hand. Vaping now is about a year and a half. Giggles. I quit smoking last January 2018 for good, and I've been on the vape ever since. Started at 18 milligrams. I'm down to 6 milligrams now. Fairly comfortable with the 6 milligrams, and we'll probably stay there. We hold in the black hole with a bunch of big stacks, so we have got a massive stack building in the black hole nano. Haven't won that one yet. Be a nice trophy to add to our trophy case. We've come second in it at least once, and we've final tabled it quite a number of times as well. So. Yeah, it's a pretty layered strategy, and I'm sure that you've got to get it all just right. I think that's my problem. I'm probably not yelling "fuck off" in quite the right way. It's probably my Canadian accent, to be honest. So I'm okay with that, but it doesn't seem to work quite the same way for me. So we are 4 away from the money in the Abyss Nano, but we are 11 of 12 with 8 getting paid. So we're in a bit of trouble. We do, however, have a king-jack suited in the small blind. Ugh. No, we're going to be nitty. We're going to be nitty here. Yes, I'm sure from Lanny it is, just in a term of endearment. I've spent enough time around British soldiers in my life to understand that terms of endearment can come in many forms. Be amazed at what they call each other. Well, maybe not. If you've spent any time around soldiers, you might not be that amazed, but yeah. For those of you who don't know, of course, for the last 15, 16 years of my life, a good chunk of my time has been spent helping to train British soldiers here at a base in Canada. I was running the computer system for a defense contractor called Cubic Defense Systems out of San Diego, where we basically run a giant game of laser tag for the British soldiers. It's obviously a little bit more complicated than laser tag, but it's basically a giant game of laser tag with real tanks and real soldiers as the participants in the game. That was what most of my career for the last 15 years was. I left that job last year and have been self-employed essentially ever since. I've turned into a professional nano stakes poker player, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I've done. Who's managed to make 150 euros in the last 6 months' time. So he's, I'm on pace to be like a 300 euro a year poker winner, which is, pretty impressive if you ask me. Yeah. Wow, I just folded the massive hand on the abyss. Under the gun, ace-7 suited. Not really a fan of ace-7. It's like the worst ace, I think, but, well, maybe ace-6 is the worst ace. Ace-7 is a pretty crappy ace, though. Oh yeah, we would have nutted out on the Abyss Nano table had we played that hand. It serves us right for being so nitty. Sorry for being silent. Was chatting a little bit in the chat box there in real time. So of course it means that 3 minutes from now the stream's gonna be kind of silent with like a lot of clicking from my keyboard as the only noise. But that's that's the way it goes sometimes. It is sort of a weird world of streaming when you're on a 3-minute delay. And I do wonder sometimes if streaming with my cards covered might be a better option. But I just think in tournament play, I mean, I think it's a little easier to stream with your cards covered in cash play. I think in tournament play, there's just too much else going on, and I talk too much about the specific strength of my hand in a given spot anyways. So it's really, whether you can see my cards or not, I'm talking about what I'm holding anyways. So it's, you know, I don't know. I don't think I'd get much out of. I think I'd actually lose by as good as it would be for chat interaction. I think I would lose certain things that I really like about the stream if I went to a no delay with cards covered. No, I've still got them, Piano Cat. I can still find them in your Whisper. That's not a problem. And I'll do my best to get to them tonight. I'd sort of forgotten. One of my jobs is that I do social media work for PokerStars New Jersey in some cases. And this week they're running their New Jersey Scoop events. So I'm actually super busy this week recording final tables from the NJ Scoop stuff on other Twitch, on other OBS stuff for me. But I will definitely try to get to that. You're right. You're right. I mean, the whole point. I mean, I'm honestly, I'm in this for the competition of the poker and the challenge of running up a bankroll from zero. I'd rather be playing bigger games, but playing bigger games is not the right move for my bankroll strategy at the moment. We are all in with our flush draw and straight draws. And we win. Sweet. So that's going to guarantee us a cash, I think, in the Abyss, probably. Right, that makes sense. That makes sense, Piano Cat. And I might actually be able to get all that stuff activated on my widget without doing anything else on my chat box. And the widget's the one that's the most important to me, frankly. So it comes through to you guys and actually on the stream. But I'll bet that's in my Streamlabs widget settings. I remember there was a button I clicked for BTTV, and there was other stuff that I wasn't sure was right because I didn't know what it meant, and I'm pretty sure I didn't click it. So I will go back and have a look at that. What was that worth, Mike? What's the 27th place worth? Nice run, by the way. Where's my MooBot? There's my MooBot. So let's go to MooBot widgets. Let's go to my chat box widget. What do I got for options in chat box? Enable better TTV emotes. That is checked. Enable franker face emotes. That is also checked. Huh. Okay, so I've enabled all the emotes I can from my Streamlabs setting, it looks like. Yeah, I don't see any other settings that I can change there. Okay, so it must be in my browser settings then. Hopefully that will fix it up once I get to that. We're 2 to the money in the Abyss. We fired a single bullet in the Abyss. We're 2 bullets deep in the Black Hole for the record. Wow, somehow we ended up in last place again in the Abyss, so maybe you aren't guaranteed to cash anymore. Nice. Nice. Okay, we're on the hard bubble now of the Abyss. We are on the hard bubble now of the Abyss. Nice one, Mike. That's still decent cash off of that buy-in. Nice if we actually got a hand of some sort that we could play. Problem is with that big stack on my left there, I think we're on the final table now. And we're in the money now. Excellent. So we're shoving our 5s. And we are done in 8th place for 132 in the Abyss Nano. Just barely snuck into the money on that one. So, Nano Dark Matter is a 0. The Abyss Nano is a 1.32. We still got the Titan and the Black Hole running. Alrighty. Gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense, Piano Cat. very frustrating. I don't think I can just call off there, but it doesn't necessarily have to have anything there either to just donk shove like that. Still sitting with better than a start stack in the Titan Nano as well, 17,000 chips. It's not a huge stack, but it's definitely a playable stack there. And of course, we're still top 5 in the Blackwell Nano. Got a break coming up again. We'll click off to that here shortly as soon as this hand finishes on the Titan. I think it's pretty much done for us already, but alrighty, so we'll be back after these short messages.
Yes, sir. If you want real entertainment, the best place to find it is in front of a General Electric Black Daylight Big as Life television set. Sports, comedy, drama, news, music. Yes, they're all yours merely at the turn of a dial. This model has a big 16-inch black rectangular tube that lets you see everything that the camera sees, true to life and as big as life. Sparkling contrast and sharp focus give you pictures of such clarity that you feel you're right there on the scene. The cabinet, designed and constructed by America's leading cabinet makers, fits gracefully into any type of room. Genuine mahogany veneers, hand-rubbed for lasting beauty and durability, are just one example of the painstaking attention to every detail, which makes this cabinet one that you'll be proud to have in your home. The precision engineering and careful assembly techniques used in making this General Electric Black Daylight television set are your assurance of television at its finest. See it in operation at your General Electric dealers tomorrow. And when you see it, well, you'll know that you're seeing the best.
Like it? Good. Something else I want to show you. It's right here on the table. Right here. Look what we have. You know this, don't you? What is it? The big yellow box with the big blue letters on it. What does it say? Kix Crispy Corn Puffs. That's right. This is a new box, too. Look at this. Just ready to put on the pantry shelf so that it's there, right on the shelf when you want it for breakfast. Or for lunch. Or for supper. Sure. Say, wouldn't it be fun to come down to breakfast some morning and find a bowl of Kix that looked like this? Smiling right up at you. Look at that. Blueberries, 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. And that mouth is really smiling, isn't it? Yeah. And we have another bowl of Kix, too, right here. This one doesn't have a face on it, but look, it has 4 pieces of banana sticking up in the sides and a half of a fresh peach right in the middle. Doesn't that look delicious? Makes my mouth water. And we have a third bowl of Kix right here. Look at this. With sliced peaches all around the side of the dish, and a blueberry between each slice, and the center is all filled with Kix. Say, those would be very, very good for breakfast, wouldn't they? Yes, and you know why they taste so good? Why? Because they're crisp, they're crunchy, they're delicious. They stay crisp to the last spoonful, and they have that wonderful corn flavor. That's right. So when you're ready for breakfast, you think about having a bowl of Kix, will you? They're good.
If you're still watching television on a small screen set, you're missing a lot. Here, for example, is a close-up on a 10-inch set. See how much smaller it is than my head? Now I'd like to show you the same close-up on a 21-inch set. There. Just look at the difference. She's as big as I am now. You can have big screen close-ups just like that. Close-ups as large as life with RCA Victor's great new 21-inch model, the Master 21, at the lowest 21-inch price in RCA Victor history, as little as $199.95. Visit your RCA Victor dealer soon. See television's greatest value, the Master 21, big screen 21-inch quality TV for $199.95. And remember, every year more people buy RCA Victor than any other television.
We are back. Titan Nano and the Black Hole Nano. We just min cashed the Abyss Nano before the break for 139, I think it was. Something along those, 132, 131, something like that. Which was a profit for us. We've just folded the flush on the Titan table, however. We should have been involved in this, obviously. The story of our life. We should have been involved in this hand. Still sitting with the top 10 stack in the Black Hole Nano. Will be reg closing soon in that one. Got ace queen in the black hole, Nano. We'll put in a raise with it. I think we'll call off action from mine plot if he comes back over top of us. We'll probably call that action off as well with our ace queen. We hold. Nice. Still a chance from the rebuy, although it's a bit late for the rebuy. You're not getting much for your money anymore. Getting like 12 big blinds now for your money. Now 6 of 81 in the black hole. Yeah, I think we all agree that Grandma Kicks is a bit creepy. I think the whole elementary school teacher motif is a bit weird. I think the idea of sounding out the words on the package is a bit weird. And you're right. I think that all of the bowls off screen contain human remains as part of the presentation, and they just didn't want to put those on the commercial. Is I think what happened. Welcome back, Giggles. Good to see you back again. I'm going to put in the bet. It's a limp pot pre. We just flopped top pair, so I think we're going to put in the bet and call off here. This is going to be a heart draw some of the time. It's going to be some two pair hands, 7-5 and 9-7 being the most common two pair hands. And there's going to be some better nines out there from time to time, but yeah, that's a better nine. That's true. Piano Cat is always in our hearts. '26th place is getting paid so far in this black hole, so it's pretty big field here. We are 9 of 80 at the moment. Still late reg, but that will be closing in about 15 minutes, I think. Oh, 2 minutes. We're very close to the end of late reg, apparently. Got a nice hand developing here on the Titan table. Just turned a top pair. Was checked around on the flop, so I'm not really putting anybody on diamonds. Diamonds could certainly have called my turn bet, but we're going to raise again with our pair of 10s here. Got to keep the pressure on here against the small stack. So obviously going to do this with a queen sometimes, but I think they're also going to do it with an 8 sometimes, and they're going to do it with under pairs that didn't hit, or with heart draws that don't get there. The Titan will be closing for registration soon as well, and we'll be putting add-ons in. Yeah, but you know what to do, Giggle Piglet. If you were really wanting to get to the sauna, you wouldn't actually be saying that. You'd be saying, "I want to win this fucking tournament. Let's go, let's go, let's go." And then you'd bust out and end up going to the sauna. So, I think we're just gonna be that guy with our queens here in the big blind. Hopefully get a loose call. Well, we don't this time. Probably lost some value there, but sometimes I just want to be that guy. Sometimes I just want to be that guy that shoves all of his chips in the middle in an absurd situation for no reason at all. Seems to be the thing that's done here on the Nano Tour. So I got to fit in. When in Rome, when in the Nanos, do as the Nano players do. Haven't seen Crazy Papa in a while. I wonder if Crazy Pop has decided to retire that username and move on to something else, or stopped playing poker or something. It's been a while since I've seen Crazy Papa. Has anybody else had any Crazy Papa sightings recently? How about embedded in our souls, Piano Cat? Maybe that's a better way to put it. I do see your point about a medical emergency being declared with anything being inserted into my heart, but so red is now closed on the black hole Nano. And we are in, I believe, the last level of late registration, or of re-entry, so people can still re-enter if they bust if they want, but otherwise we will be down to the freeze-out portion of this event, ladies and gentlemen, cats and others. And there's 16 minutes left in registration in the Titan, after which we will have our rebuy period. I'm by no means in an absolute lock spot here, but I think I've got a pretty decent chance in the Titan to get through to the payout period. Or at least get through to the add-on period. Ah, gotcha. I understand. I gotcha. It was like a quick sounder trip back to the poker tournament. Oh, I'm still playing. Okay. Ah, cool. Well, good to know he's still alive. Good to know he's still alive. Classic race, and we don't get there. We'll fire one more bullet at this. Yeah. What a fucking joke. I mean, I know he's shoving light a huge amount of the time. He just keeps getting there. Just keeps shoving with the worst hand and just keeps getting there. We are all in with 9s in the Titan Nano. We also just doubled up with Ace Jack. Well, not doubled up. We just knocked somebody out with Ace Jack in the Black Hole Nano on the same hand. And we are out of the Titan. So we will finish that one. We're not going to fire a third bullet. And we will concentrate on the Black Hole, which is the last place we have left to make money today. $26 getting paid in the Black Hole. We are 10 of 65 currently. Still a ways to go, but we do have a reasonable shot at making the moolah here. We're 2 bullets deep, so a min cash will give us a reasonable profit, 50-cent profit. Well, if it's really bad, you might want to go see a doctor, Giggles. It's pretty common for people to forget shit, though. Put in a raise with our pair of 8s. Fucking gross, just calls off with the crappiest hands and just fucking gets there. You know, he's got 3 fucking outs to beat my 8s there when he calls with 10-8. What the hell? He's just a complete idiot, obviously. Nice one, Giggles. Enjoy your sauna. For the record, that was the same dude just getting there with a crap hand once again in the Titan. Second pair. There's a good chance there's an ace out there, unfortunately. I think I'm going to see one more street against Karakou for sure. Oh, fuck. This guy's getting on my nerves, Karakou. Another one of those people that just get there, apparently. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really seem to matter what he has in the hand. He's the one that gets there. Kelpohaiki is all in from the button. Called off, race, and he holds. And of course, we're folding the hands we would have won. Playing the hands we lose. It's just another one of those days. Not going to play around with Karakou post flop. If he wants to get it in with me pre-flop, with the hands he plays. I'm okay with that, but interesting bet by Smoky Bones there. With 29 to go until the money now. We're about 4 spots out of the money currently with our stack, but we're close enough that it doesn't really matter at this point. We have enough to play right now. We've got 30 plus big blinds for the time being. Good luck in the shooting star in a few minutes or in an hour or so there, Piano Cat. Nine four is probably not something we're going to get involved with. Then again, Jack Queen would be pretty gross here. sure I would have called off his bet there. Wouldn't have been an easy call, but I'm pretty sure I would have called it. 22 to go now until the money. That does put our stack into a cashing position, so puts us in a slightly better spot. Definitely out of the way from this one. Karaku doesn't tend to call these off unless he's got the goods. Wow, and we would have just hit the fucking nuts. I mean, again, why aren't we a worse poker player? Why aren't we a worse poker player, folks? That's my question. Why do we have to be so darn proper with our play? Because, you know, if we just get involved for an absurd amount of money with our 7-6 suited there, we end up with the nuts. Nice to get the walk there. 19 to go until we're in the money now. I mean, I have a feeling Karaku's going to get himself into trouble with his fairly weird play, but hasn't gotten him into trouble so far. And he is an alien, so, you know, he might have completely different thought processes from us, which, you know. don't think we'll get involved with the 9-7 there, most likely. Yeah, you can definitely tell it's spring here in Alberta. I'm sneezing like crazy again. We're still like a month away from poplar fuzz season, too. We have two kinds of snow here in Alberta. We have the snow that's, frozen water that comes down in the wintertime when it's really cold. We also have poplar snow, which is the reproductive fuzz that comes off of poplar trees when they basically bud in the spring, and they grow this like fuzz stuff that then blows off the branches and blows all over the place and pollinates other poplar trees elsewhere, and it ends up just being like a giant snowstorm for a couple of days, usually around late May, early June. And we're moving up into that. They're starting to develop that stuff now. Put in the rays with our 8s. I think we're just going to put him all in with our overpair to the board. And we hold. Gotta like it. Gotta like it. That puts us in a much more comfortable position. Moving in towards the money. So 16 to go now. We are in 15th position with 26 places getting paid. Down to 13 remaining. Players dropping like flies. I think I'll underplay this a little bit and just see the flop. See where we go from there. It's a flop we like quite a bit. We have totally underplayed our hand here, so our 2 pairs is like 1,000% the best hand here, top 2, I think. I mean, occasionally there's going to be a set of 3s or something. Oh, did we just disconnect? Like, what the hell? There we go, we're back. Maybe? Wow, and we just checked there. Crazy. What a time to time out, and there was no reason for it. I mean, the stream didn't go, so it wasn't my internet. That was a fucking annoying time to disconnect. Right when I can river the nuts there. I mean, he's not calling my bet anyways, but I don't want to check back there. I don't ever want to check back there. God, that was gross. Once again, on that hand, Karaku just rivered it with the worst hand. Sorry, I was just adjusting my blanket there. You guys don't see this, but I usually have a comforter wrapped around my legs when I play because this is Canada, and even in the spring and the summertime, it gets a little chilly here sometimes. So probably won't be doing it in the dead of summer, but yeah, it's it's Canada. What can I say? If Giggle Piglets were still here, she could identify with being Finnish. I'm sure she could identify with what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that ace jack hand where I disconnected is just coming up now. Weirdest thing. If you're hearing me talk behind, I'm yeah, definitely nothing to do with my internet. I've got like a super solid stream going through there, so I don't know what the hell happened with that disconnect, but weird. Very weird. Yeah, Karaku finally gets there with the best hand this time. But hey, at least I know the stream was solid through it all. Even if Unibet crapped out somewhere in the middle. 10 away from the money now here in the Black Hole Nano, so we're getting there. We are getting there, 15 to 36. Yeah, we're going to need a pretty big score here in the Black Hole Nano to save our day. Min cash will not do it. We're going to need to get at least 8th place, I think. Maybe 7th. 7th would definitely do it. I don't think 8th would quite do it, though. I think 8th would be very close. 8th is 348, which would be 480, yeah, so we'd still be losing about 25 cents on the day if we get 8th in this. If we get 7th, we'll make a profit on the day, so that gives us something to shoot for at least. I suppose I should clean up my current game since we're only playing one game at the moment. It's certainly one you can see a flop with some of the time. We'll probably call behind here and see what the flop brings. Obviously looking to flop a set. It's not a terrible flop for a pair of 9s though. Especially on a limped board. There's probably not too many jacks out there, and it could easily be min betting on a 6 or a 5. Now the diamonds come in. That's a little bit less attractive for us, plus an extra overcard. With the 9 of diamonds, we might continue here, but without the 9 of diamonds, I think we just have to get out of the way. Pair of kings, we're going to play that one a lot more aggressively than we played our 9s. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, what the hell am I supposed to do? Alrighty, we're done for the day. This is not a rage quit, but it's this is where we were going to be quitting at the end of this tournament anyways, but that's you know, it's very frustrating when he just, I mean, they're just calling off with hands that there's no business calling there with. You know, it's like he's fucking calling to hit nothing. Oh, thanks for tuning in, folks. I'll be back on Wednesday, so hope everybody has a good day, and we will see you again soon. I'm out. For more vintage poker content from MotherShip Poker, click the subscribe button and check out the playlists for all of our old archived content, as well as the ads-only cut from some of the early streams.